Welcome to Podnutz for June 27, 2008. It's Friday today. Hope everybody is enjoying the summer and has some big plans for this weekend. I know I do. Not really a partier lately, but I think this weekend I'm going to kind of let it loose. So I might look a little peaked on Monday, but I'll still come on the air. You guarantee that. Okay. I set up my Skype phone number yesterday if anybody wants to call in for Podnutz Daily. You don't have to Skype me at Podnutz Daily. You can just call 610-624-1689. I'm going to write it in the chat for everybody to see. 610-624-1689. If you don't have your Skype... Ooh, I messed it up in the chat. 610... If you don't have Skype hooked up, you can just call me on a regular phone on that line. At the end of the show, I'll take any calls for questions, suggestions, tips, anything you want to talk about. Tech-related, obviously. Okay, I want to talk about a job I did the other day. It was the one where I was trying to recover files for customers. He lost all his pictures, or he thought he lost all his pictures, and his hard drive was giving us a tough time. We couldn't recover them. We used a program called Recover My Files, which I do use for data recovery. I bought it not knowing if it was going to be good or not, but as it turns out, I have never had a problem with it. It recovered all 3,000 of his files. It had to do the extended, full scan to get them, and it took about 5 hours, maybe 4 hours, but it did get everything. So, good program. I'd recommend it. I haven't had a problem with it. It saved the day. It saved him from getting killed by his wife, for one. He was happy. It allowed us to get the job done for him, so that was good. All good stuff. I'm thinking about using Amazon Prime, and if I want to get some feedback on this, if anybody has used it. Amazon Prime is you pay $79 a year, and on selected Amazon items, the items that Amazon actually has in stock, not third-party vendors. Some third-party vendors actually you could use it for, but anyway, the items Amazon has in stock, you get free 2-day shipping on any of those items, no matter how big it is. That's if you pay $79 a year. It's called Amazon Prime. Also, and this is my main thing, you get overnight shipping for an extra $4 more on any item. And I did a scan on Amazon looking for things that I would normally buy in my business, power supplies, motherboards, RAM, and hard drives. And they had enough of a selection there at prices better than what I'm paying now that it would be worth it for me to do that service. Normally, because I've been talking about a store called Micro Center. It's about 15 minutes away from us. It's a great store for computer technicians. If you need something immediately or you want to go pick it up locally, Micro Center is great. But it also takes me time out of my shop to go pick up the item, come back, and it takes me maybe half an hour to an hour out of my day to get the parts I need. If I could do Amazon Prime, get overnight shipping for about the same price, I wouldn't have to leave the office and could continue to work while the items get shipped to me. So I think I might give that a shot. If anybody's used that, let me know. Anybody in the chat room there hooked up with Amazon Prime? No? Send me some feedback, anybody who's listening and has used it. From what I've heard, it's a good service, and I'm thinking about checking that out. Okay. Quick announcement. Sack says Leo Laporte uses it. I think that's where I heard it from, maybe MacBreak Weekly this week or something like that. Recorded the next episode of Podnutz last night with Dave from PCTechBytes.com. If you guys haven't been over to PC Tech Bytes, that's another great resource for computer help. They have good forums. There's a lot of, from what I've noticed in the forums, a lot of questions getting answered. Like a lot of new people come in with questions that they have no idea about on their computer, and there's always somebody in a forum that has good answers for them. So it's a great spot for questions and solutions. We did that interview last night. I'm probably going to have that done and released tonight, late, or tomorrow morning sometime, but it will definitely be one of those two times. So definitely check in for that. I'm not doing Podnutz Weekly live. I might do that sometime in the future, but mainly it's. I think I'm going to keep that just a pre-recorded show and just release it every Friday. Okay, guys. Yesterday, it's funny. I talked about a laptop that I repaired. And talked about replacing a capacitor on a laptop motherboard, which is normally very rare. I don't usually see blown capacitors that are noticeably blown on a laptop motherboard. In this one case, I did. Now, the customer had originally brought me 2 computers. One had a bad motherboard and one had a bad hard drive. Well, I took the good motherboard. Actually, he wanted everything into the... He wanted all the components that were good into the computer that had a bad motherboard. He liked that model better, but they were almost identical. So I took the... long story short, I took the bad motherboard out of that bad computer and put it into the... I took the good motherboard out of the computer and put it into the computer that had the bad motherboard. Try saying that 10 times fast. And he was fine. It worked great. He took it home. He used the same power adapter he used to blow out the other one, and he blew out this one. So he had 2 laptops with 2 bad motherboards. Well, I fixed the motherboard on the one, like I said yesterday, right, replacing that capacitor. And I said, you know what? Let me just check his other one and see if it's the same problem that caused the one that I fixed to blow as well. And it was. The same capacitor, same spot was blown. So I called... Before I did that, I actually called him and I said, look, I'm going to check out your old computer and make sure that it's the same problem. We could have 2 fixed. And he agreed with that, or so I thought. So I checked it out and it was the same problem. So I went ahead and I fixed the second laptop, replaced the capacitor on that, called him up and I said, great, now you got good news. Now you got 2 laptops. And he said to me, I didn't want you to fix the second one. I just wanted you to use that for parts. And I'm thinking to myself, look, I just did all this work. You should be very happy. I'm saving you money. He's like, I already bought a new laptop for my daughter. So I'm like, all right. He's like, well, I won't leave you hanging. He's like, you could just keep that one. So it's like a Toshiba, like maybe 2 years old computer. If anybody's going to give me a computer, of course I'm going to take it, unless it's real old. But for this one, definitely. I could probably sell it on Craigslist for about $275, $300. So what I'm going to do is not charge him for the motherboard I did fix. He's going to give me his old laptop, and I consider that a $300 job. I'll sell it on Craigslist. eBay or Craigslist, this is a quick quiz. If you have a working laptop and recent, fairly new, in good condition, and it works, per what I say anyway, where should you sell it, eBay or Craigslist, and why? Think it to yourself, or you can answer it in the chat room. I'll tell you the answer maybe some other time, because I already talked about it. It's a quick quiz. Thank you guys for giving me suggestions on the spyware from yesterday. I had a couple of people email me in with that. Definitely helped out. I got that computer squared away and fixed, so appreciate any help you guys gave me on that. Sachs says, it depends on your location, actually, for the eBay Craigslist question. Okay, let me tell you the answer right now before I forget, because I will. Craigslist is a great place if you have working items, working electronics. Craigslist, I would definitely sell them on Craigslist every time. There's no selling fees. Working electronics are in high demand almost anywhere, so you have the market out there that's willing to pay the price, and it's cash usually.